Hey, so my name is Imani, and I decided to kind of document my journey through nursing school. Um, I'm starting school this week, this Wednesday, and so I just wanted to kind of talk about how I got to this point. So a little bit of a background around about me. Um, I have always wanted to be a nurse, but I guess I kind of wasn't really focused about how to get there. So, backtrack, I went to college. I've already had my undergrad degree. I was a nursing major, but I wasn't focused and my grades weren't good enough to maintain my nursing degree major. You had to have at least um, I think above a C average in order to be a nursing major. So I had to switch my major. And the next thing I was interested in was sociology because I just love people and people groups and how we all interact with each other. That was another passion of mine. So I pursued a degree in sociology. I also got a minor in Spanish. And I went through with that track, but the plan was always to apply for nursing school. So I took my nursing school prereqs throughout undergrad with hopes to just apply once I graduated from my undergraduate program. I went to school in Florida, so the requirements were very specific, of course, like every nursing school. The nursing school that I wanted to go to, you had to take the HESI. Um, you had to have a certain GPA, you had to do so well in all your classes. And as I was getting ready to graduate, my senior year, I did horribly. I did really bad. So that kind of put me off track to apply to the nursing school. I did graduate, of course. C's get degrees is the term everyone says, but for nursing school, you have to be spectacular because it's so competitive that you can't just have a C and think you're going to get in and not at least to a good program. So I decided that after I graduated, I was going to move home with my mom and retake classes and then pursue my nursing degree in Atlanta. And that's where I'm living now. Let's just say that was 4 years ago, and I've been working full time. I've been in two different industries since I've been here and still pursuing nursing, but on a part-time level. So it took a little bit longer. And finally, this year, I applied to a program and I got accepted in March. And so now it's finally August and it's about to start. So we're about to get started and I'm really excited. I think I'll go in detail about what exactly I did to get in, some pitfalls that I had, highs and lows, all that stuff. I'll make another video about it, but I wanted to talk about my program and how it starts this week and what exactly I've been doing to get ready for it. So, of course, I had to do a lot. There's a lot of prep work that goes into going to nursing school. So there was a lot for me to do in order to be ready to start. I think the first thing that I had to do once I was accepted, I had to go ahead and get a whole bunch of background checks and titers and health things checked out for my school. We had to go specifically to a county health department or to the on-campus health center to get these things done. We had to get the PPD. We had to get our measles, mumps, and rubella, the MMR titer checked off to make sure we were immune. We had to get a Tdap if you didn't already have it, or you had to show records that you had it done. Hepatitis B, or show that you were, actually you have to get your hepatitis, you have to show that you have your hepatitis B series already done, and then you also have to show when you go into your doctor or to the health department, you have to get something done to show that, make sure that you are immune. So they don't play about hepatitis B. Also, of course, chickenpox. And then my doctor had to fill out a form saying that I was physically able to be in the nursing program, and that there was nothing in my health records that showed that I would not be a good candidate to be able to provide care and to learn how to provide care for patients. So I was kind of surprised by that, but it makes sense. Why wouldn't you want to make sure that I'm physically capable of being a nurse before I try to become a nurse? You don't want something to come up in the future that would prevent you from working at a hospital. So I had to get all that done. I had to pay good amount of money, I think almost $100 to get these titers and these shots, and then also just the copay to go to my doctor. Imagine if you don't have insurance. I guess you could go to the on campus, which is a lot cheaper, but it all adds up. So I had to get that done. Like, it wasn't really a scramble, but I work full time, so it's not like I can just stop what I'm doing to go to the doctor. I have to take off, and those are things that you have to calculate and plan accordingly. So I had to get that done first. I had to get my background checked, which was easy. Drug test, that was easy. You just go to a place and you use the bathroom and they run it and they process it. Background check, they do that online. So of course that all costs money. You have to go ahead and do that up front. My program kind of kept a lot of things top secret, in my opinion, up until this past week when we had orientation, a 2-day orientation. And even then, they still didn't give us that many details. We kind of have to wait till the semester starts as far as our clinical sites, as far as how to study the syllabus. All of those things I still don't know. And so I'm still very excited. I'm still anxious about starting. It doesn't feel real because I can't sit down and pre-study really. I've been going through the book. I've been reading through it literally probably for the past 2 months, ever since I got my book. For the first semester of my program, you are just in one class, which it's 8-hour credits. It has 3 components. It's a lecture 1 day a week, and then lab, and then clinical. So you have your labs and you learn your skills and you do your checkoffs, and then you have your clinical where you're actually in the hospital, which we don't do that until a couple months from now when we have our skills down. And then you have the lecture, and I believe you have tests every other week. This is what I've been told by people in the upper classes, but I'm so very excited. It's almost surreal that my dream is starting now. And in 2 years, 2 very quick years, I'm going to be a registered nurse as soon as I pass the NCLEX, of course. But I'm very, I'm very positive about the NCLEX experience. The TEAS experience was really good for me. I can do another video about that if you are interested. I think that if you prepare yourself from the beginning for the NCLEX, then you will have 2 years of preparation for that test. And if your program is a good program, which it should be if it's accredited, if you're paying money to go to nursing school, you should be going to a good program that will prepare you. And if you're paying money to go to the program to be able to sit for the NCLEX, you need to be preparing yourself and not depending on the teachers to babysit you and have you to be perfectly set up for the test. If it's important to you, you'll prepare yourself and not waste your time in the program just waiting for them to hand feed you. So I'm very excited about being able to sit and take the NCLEX. I've already seen a lot of good advice that I plan to implement. And I'm nervous about documenting this because I personally don't love to document myself as far as video. I think my voice is annoying. I think my face is awkward sometimes, but it's okay. That's me, and I want to have this information available for anyone who's coming after me or who has had a similar experience to me that they can relate. And also for anyone that's going through it with me, we can just be on the same page. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. And issues I have throughout my way, or things that I learn, or mistakes that I make, I can help someone else that's coming after me. So I want to definitely be able to encourage others and also be there to help guide the way. I'm the oldest sister. I'm the oldest one in my family as far as the kids go, and there's no one really ahead of me that's going through stuff right now that knows exactly what to tell me to do before I get there. And so that's something that I really would love to have, and anyone that is after me, I want to be able to give that to them. So that's my main motivation for this. I hope that it'll be beneficial to somebody at least. I don't care if I have 1 million followers. I don't care if people like my videos as far as physically liking them. I mean, I would hope if you're watching me that you would like them, but it's not about any fame or notoriety. It's about passing on information and making the next person a little bit more educated or a little bit more prepared than I was. And that's the important thing about you being, I don't know, a contributing person in society. I guess that's just how my mind works. But I'll be updating you all periodically. We'll see how this semester goes with school, work, and then my personal life, juggling all of that and how that happens. So I hope you all would just stay tuned. If you have any questions or want any more specific details, just let me know in the comments.